Okay, class. Now today we're going to be talking about CPU. Does anyone know what a CPU is?
Like the joke?
No. Yes.
The CPU stands for Central Processing Unit and is the brains of the computer.
Correct. Does anyone know the 4 things that the CPU does? No? Well, first thing it does is fetching. Can anyone show me an example of fetching? Yes, Claude dog. Cat fetching. Fetching is when the CPU gathers the information that the program wants it to do. Now, can anyone guess the next step? No? Anyone? Yes, John.
Decoding is when the CPU takes data that is in the fetching and converts it into machine understandable code.
Correct. Now, the next thing is executing. Not that. It's when the CPU actually processes the code or instructions. Does anyone know the last step? No? Come on, guys. The last step is right back. Can anyone show me an example? Yes. Come up to the board and show me. Haha, very funny. That's not what write back means. Write back is when the computer takes the data it found and puts it in the memory of the computer. If you want your CPU to be faster than others, then you have to give it more resources, such as more RAM and faster processing time. Well, now that you know what a CPU is and what it does, the next question to ask is, where does it go?
This right here is the CPU and the heatsink and the fan is all underneath here. This right here is the motherboard where the CPU is hooked up to, so it's able to reach all other stuff such as RAM. And then what you do is there's 4 screws in your individual right here, right there on this side. You have to take your screwdriver and unscrew them. I already did that anyways, and then usually this would be plugged in, but I already unplugged that. You just take this thing off, and then you got the CPU. There's a little latch right here, and you just pop this latch up, and here's the CPU itself. Here's the back, and here's the stuff that plugs it into. If you notice, it bends really easily. And then there's 2 corners. There's a little corner there, a little corner right there. You just line that up, and you pop it back into place. But it doesn't fit right because somebody else bent that. So, and this right here is just the fan to keep it cool. This right here is the heat sink, which just goes on just like this. So you take it, you'll just screw it all back into place, and you take this little thing, little wires, you pop it right in here where it says CPU fan. And then the heat sink is able to the heat sink is there so it keeps it cool. It doesn't overheat because the CPU gets overheat after all the code running through it because it causes friction. And then everything else is just there to keep it cool.
Are you actually filming me? Hey, computers class. How y'all doing? Is that recording? Don't. Basically a model? Did you film that? Basically a model? I mean, no big deal. Okay, so.
That's cool. Well, we actually only have like 20 minutes.
Stop filming!
Decoding is when the CPU takes data from its fetching and converts it to